I used all of my savings to be able to study abroad in South Korea. Hello everyone, I am Ka from Vietnam. Let's join me in attending a trial master's class in South Korea. Lately, in Korea, as summer sets in, the weather has been very sunny. The class is at 9:30 a.m., so I have to go to school early in the morning. I was very sleepy in the morning class, so I bought an energy drink to drink. In universities in Korea, there are many coffee shops and convenience stores. Today I got myself Monster energy drinks, 2 cans for 3,200 won. To save money, I cooked breakfast at home myself, so I only drink energy drinks. Life in Korea is very fast-paced, so Koreans often have breakfast at convenience stores instead of cooking at home. And there are hardly any fast food restaurants that open before 11 a.m. I usually go to school earlier so I can enjoy the fresh morning air. Convenience stores usually have seating outside for customers. The morning air is very fresh. Although the sunlight is quite intense, the temperature is not high and it feels quite cool. I like sunbathing in the morning so my body can absorb vitamin D. It's almost time for class, so pack up your things and head to class. As summer arrives, the trees in Korea become very, very green, making the video very beautiful. Universities in Korea pay great attention to campus landscaping, so the trees are very carefully maintained. Because I am Vietnamese, I will study at a school exclusively for foreigners. Because it's currently the school term, there are quite a few students on campus. Suddenly, the sky became very cloudy because the weather forecast predicts rain this afternoon. Because living alone is very lonely, I really like going to school because I get to meet my friends. I will study on the 4th floor, so using the elevator will be more convenient. Since I arrived early, there weren't many people waiting, making it easy to use the elevator. My university is Sejong University, and my major is business administration. Today, I studied the Korean art market course. The professor is Korean, but most of the students in my department are Vietnamese. Studying for a master's degree in Korea involves a lot of presentations and group war. The class lasted for 2 hours. Today, the professor finished the class later than usual, so I had to eat at the university cafeteria. The weather is getting cloudy. In Korea, it's important to check the forecast before heading out, as it's quite normal to have bright sunshine in the morning and heavy rain later in the day. At lunchtime, the cafeteria gets very crowded with students, so I often have to wait in line for quite a while to buy a meal ticket before having lunch. A meal usually costs around $2 to $3, which is about the same as what I earn from half an hour of part-time work. Usually, people save a seat in advance. If you don't, you may have to stand and wait for a place to sit before having your meal. For lunch today, I had a pork cutlet set with rice and soup. The serving size was pretty big, but fried food can be quite heavy and greasy, so it's easy to gain weight if you eat it regularly. I only had a light breakfast, so I needed a nutritious lunch with enough protein to give me energy for my afternoon classes. Food in Korea is quite diverse, but many dishes are oily and spicy. Therefore, people who are not used to this type of food may find it difficult to eat. After finishing lunch, I had some free time before my next class. I strolled around the campus for a while and then returned to the student lounge to relax until my third class began at 3 p.m. During the lunch break, I devoted 2 hours to improving my English. In Korea, language proficiency is a very important factor when applying for jobs. Y University has a modern lounge with air conditioning and comfortable facilities, where students can take a break and unwind after long and demanding classes. Although I was quite sleepy, I still had to keep studying because my online English class is very important to me. As it was time for my third class, Understanding Korean Popular Culture, I gathered my study materials and went to the classroom early to secure a seat. Since the class was quite crowded, students usually tried to arrive early. Otherwise, it was difficult to find a good place to sit. Today's class was held in a tiered lecture hall. As it was the last class of the semester, the students were presenting their final projects. I just had to attend, listen to their presentations, and submit my evaluation later at home. Once that was done, the course would officially come to an end. My major is centered on understanding Korean popular culture and applying that knowledge to create effective marketing strategies for businesses. As a result, studying the historical development of the Korean wave and understanding how Korean culture gained global recognition is a crucial part of my education. I'm sure many of you have listened to hit songs or watched performances by popular Korean idol groups. If you are passionate about Korean culture, you may want to consider joining a program like the one I'm studying in. It offers a deeper understanding of Korean popular culture and its influence around the world. One thing I really appreciate about studying in Korea is the modern learning environment. My university's classrooms are not only well equipped with the latest technology, but also designed with a strong sense of creativity and aesthetics. These facilities provide students with an excellent place to learn and grow. Even though the tuition and living expenses are quite high, I feel that the experience and opportunities I gain here make it a worthwhile investment. At the end of a long day of classes, I treated myself to a relaxing evening with friends. We visited a unique Chinese-style dessert cafe near Konkuk University Station, where we enjoyed traditional sweet soups and pastries while chatting about our day. It was the perfect way to recharge after hours of studying. One thing I like about cafes in Korea is their minimalist style. Rather than extravagant decorations, they focus on creating a comfortable and relaxing atmosphere for customers. The drinks were of excellent quality, and the desserts were delicious as well. The total cost for 4 people was around $20, so each of us paid about $5. Even though that doesn't sound like much, it was nearly half of my hourly earnings from my part-time job. While eating, we spent time discussing the semester and sharing our thoughts about the classes we had taken. Since it was only a light meal, we later decided to eat some Vietnamese food. As international students, we occasionally feel homesick, and enjoying the flavors of our hometown is one of the best ways to feel closer to home. I absolutely love the restaurant's decoration and would give it a perfect score. The Vietnamese-inspired design reminds us of our homeland and brings back many familiar memories. Every visit is special because, besides enjoying authentic Vietnamese food, We also find comfort in an environment that helps us feel less homesick. The dishes included noodles served with a variety of meats and fresh vegetables. The food was incredibly tasty and reminded us of the flavors we grew up with in Vietnam. The entire meal cost about $60, so each person paid around $15. Although it was a bit expensive for a student like me, it was worth it because the meal tasted just like home. In fact, my share of the bill was more than what I earn in an hour of part-time work. That's all for today. If you enjoyed my content, please give me a like and a follow. Your support gives me the motivation to keep going. Thank you.